did you spend your Labor Day? Did you go to the beach? Did you barbecue or maybe tailgate with friends? Labor Day is our unofficial end to summer. It's our last hurrah before we hunker down for the fall and the winter and we go into the final quarter of the year. But it didn't start out like that. Labor Day started out as a tribute to American workers to celebrate their dignity and their honor and the efforts that they put forward in their jobs. But I bet many of you don't feel very valued right now. Thousands of people have been laid off. Many women have been called in to their bosses' offices and told nothing personal, but your job no longer exists. So, what do you do? Hi, I'm Constance Howard, executive coach dedicated to helping women eliminate self doubt, limiting beliefs, and to develop the kind of confidence that will empower them to survive and thrive even the most difficult situations. So let's get started. For many of us, our jobs provide us with a sense of identity. It says a lot about who we are and what we stand for. It gives us purpose and passion. So when you're called in and you're told this job no longer exists, it can be a devastating blow. It can be heartbreaking and even scary. But here's the thing, you're more than your job title. You're more than just a name on an organizational chart, and you are certainly more than your last paycheck. That was one of the hardest lessons for me to take in when I left TV news to become an executive coach. I couldn't understand who I was in that transitional period. I felt like I was lost, like my identity had been ripped away. And I felt less than, like something was wrong with me. I questioned myself. If I wasn't going to be an executive producer or a news director, then who was I? It took a minute for me to realize that I'm not that title, that I could not be a news director and I could not be an executive producer, but I still had skills and strengths that would translate into some other position. I was still the person I was before the layoff, and I had value. I have a friend who was laid off after spending 30 years in a position, 30 years at the same company. And she was called in and she was told, nothing personal, the job is just gone. She was a hard worker. She was creative and she's very smart. So it took a minute for us to work together and for her to realize that none of that changed. The job went away, but her identity and self worth didn't go away. She then started thinking about what else she could do, how she could recreate herself. She remembered that she always loved baking pies, and she always thought, one day I'm going to have a pie baking company. And that's what she did. She took all of her skills and her strength. She took her resilience and she poured it into building a pie company that is really thriving. If you're navigating a career loss, here's what I want you to know. You are not that job title. Your identity does not begin and end with your title, with your position, or with your paycheck. This is an opportunity for you to reconnect with some of the dreams that you have put away or put on the back burner for so long. This is an opportunity for you to dust them off and to reconsider them. This is an opportunity for you to reconnect with your values and for you to really decide who you want to be in this stage of your life. It's critical that during this time you redefine what success means and looks like for you. You know, for a lot of us, me included, I just took what society said was success. Society said having a certain job was meant that you were a success, a certain amount of money, a house, a certain living in a certain neighborhood. Those were all indications of whether or not you were a success. But really, those were just things. You have to decide what makes you feel successful, what brings you joy, and what aligns with the values that you hold deep in your heart. For some of us, success is being able to spend time with their family and not having to worry about having to answer to someone or request, um, having to request time off. For some of us, it's not on this, not being a hamster on a wheel. That's what success looks like for them. My nephew is just starting his professional career, and he is in no hurry to start this 60-hour a week grind. That's not his idea of success. What is your idea of success? Spend some time and think about it, because this is critical. This is your opportunity to write a new chapter for yourself. Begin something new that is more aligned with who you want to be and who you believe yourself to be. So, how do you begin all of this? Well, first of all, I want you to grieve the loss. Losing a job is a loss, and you should take time and grieve from that and heal from that. Don't rush your healing period. Reconnect with your values. Sit down and really think about what truly matters to you. What do you want to do and why? Where do you find your passion? Now, these exercises may sound easy, but they take time because you have to dig deep. And you may come up with a set of answers, walk away, walk away for a day or two, come back and have a different perspective on it. And because this is your opportunity to really recreate yourself, spend some time and really get it right. Get it right. Audit your strengths. Know what your strengths are. Don't concentrate on your weaknesses. Don't sit down and go, oh, if I could do this, I would do X, right? Talk about your strengths and really look at yourself objectively. You know in your heart what you're good at, what you're strong at. Write all of that down. And if you're struggling with that, you might want to go to someone who is close to you and ask them, what do you think my strengths are? And they'll rattle off, I'm sure, a list of things that you probably don't even consider. Get support. I know a lot of times when we suffer a job loss or a significant change, we want to, just go within. We don't want to talk about it with anyone. We want to just keep it private. But that's not where your help lies. Talk to people who you trust. That's why it's really critical for you to have a strong inner circle, people who know you, love you, support you, and will be honest with you. Bring that circle of friends, bring them closer to you, and allow them to help you go through this situation. Allow them to help you grieve and to um, allow them to help you reestablish yourself. And finally, start where you are. We all start at the beginning. When I started executive coaching, I had to start at the beginning. I had to go back to school to be trained. I had to go from being in one field at the top of the list to being in another field at the bottom of the list. But that's just the way it goes. You don't start at the top. Once you realize that and accept that, it's a lot easier for you to go through this process. If you have questions or comments, please list them below and I will make sure that I follow up with you. This is such a delicate moment in your life if you are struggling with a job loss, but it's not the end of your life. I want you to realize that this is your opportunity to pivot, to grow, to become someone that you've always dreamed that you could be or wanted to be. Your next chapter is waiting with possibilities and with purpose and with power. Embrace it. Again, if you have questions, leave them in the comment below and I will follow up. And if you like this episode, let me know. I would appreciate hearing your thoughts and your comments on the things that I've suggested for you. And just another shameless ad here. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell so you'll be notified when any new videos are posted. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate your support.